Today, we're going to tackle a process that can be a real headache or, if you do it right, a model of efficiency. We're talking about the journey from a purchase order all the way to a paid invoice, right inside Dynamics 365 Business Central. Let's get started and make sure your payables process is absolutely bulletproof.
So picture this. A vendor invoice lands in your inbox. The pressure's on to get it paid, right? But wait, how do you know it's actually correct? Did you get everything you ordered? Is the price what you agreed on? This is the daily grind for anyone in AP and purchasing, and it's exactly what we are going to solve today.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the purchase order, then talk about receiving, and then we'll master the matching process. After that, it's all about posting with confidence. And of course, we'll cover what to do when things go a little sideways. We're going to take you from chaos to complete control. First up, the purchase order. You got to think of the PO as your contract, your agreement for this purchase. It is the foundational document. It's the single source of truth that lays out the items, the quantities, and the prices you and your vendor agreed on. Getting this part right is absolutely the critical first step.
Okay, let's clear something up that trips a lot of people up. The purchase order is your internal plan. It's what you've decided to buy. The purchase invoice, on the other hand, is external. That's the bill the vendor sends you. This distinction is so important because you're going to use that internal PO to track everything, especially partial shipments, long before you ever see that final bill.
An agreement is a great start, but it's just paper, right? The next step is all about confirming reality. This is the receiving process, where that digital purchase order finally meets the physical goods on your loading dock. This is where you get your proof of delivery. You know, when your team posts a receipt in Business Central, it is so much more than just clicking a button. They are literally creating the official digital record that builds a bridge between the physical boxes on the dock and your company's inventory and financial systems. This is the exact moment the stuff you can touch becomes data you can trust.
So why is this step non-negotiable? I mean, why can't you just skip it? Well, because without it, your data is basically worthless. Properly posting a receipt updates your inventory in real time. It creates a crucial audit trail, and, most importantly, it stops you from paying for ghost shipments. You know, items that you got billed for but never actually showed up. This one action is the linchpin of the whole process.
And that brings us to the main event, matching. This is where we connect all the dots. We're about to unleash the power of the three-way match, which is the gold standard process that ensures you pay exactly what you owe and not a single penny more.
So what is this three-way match thing? It's a beautifully simple but incredibly powerful idea. It's just an AP process where you verify a vendor's invoice by comparing it against your purchase order and your receipt. The goal? Super simple. Make sure all three documents are telling the exact same story before any money leaves your bank account. And this table just breaks it down perfectly. The three-way match is all about answering three fundamental questions. The purchase order asks, what did we agree to buy? The receipt asks, okay, but what did we actually receive? And finally, the vendor invoice tells us, what is the vendor billing us for? If the answers to all three questions line up, you're golden. You can pay with total confidence.
Now, here's the best part. You don't have to do this manually, digging through paperwork and spreadsheets. No way. Business Central is designed to do the heavy lifting for you, and there's one specific function that makes it incredibly easy.
The magic button here is Get Receipt Lines. Instead of manually retyping all the invoice details and risking errors, you just tell Business Central to pull the data directly from the receipts you already posted. It'll show you all the uninvoiced receipts for that vendor. And get this, you can select one or even bundle multiple receipts together onto a single invoice. It's a massive time saver. The system fills everything in, guaranteeing the quantities match what you physically received. All right, you've created the PO, you've received the goods, you've matched the invoice. You are almost there. But before you commit this transaction to your books forever, Business Central gives you one last, powerful safety net.
This isn't just a friendly suggestion. This should be your mantra. Always preview before you post. Seriously, think of this feature as your final quality check, letting you see the exact financial impact of what you're about to do before you actually do it.
So what does this preview posting actually show you? Pretty much everything. It shows you the exact GL entries, the impact on the vendor and item ledgers, any tax implications, the whole shebang. This is your final chance to catch a mistake and prevent a massive headache-inducing reversing entry down the road.
Of course, let's be real. The real world is rarely perfect. So what happens when the invoice doesn't match the PO? Let's look at how you can handle those common little issues without derailing your entire workflow.
You've all seen these before, right? The price is off by a few cents, the vendor throws in an unexpected freight charge out of nowhere, or they bill you for a quantity you haven't even received yet. These are the daily realities of accounts payable, but Business Central has tools built right in to manage them.
So you've basically got two main tools for this. For those unexpected but totally legitimate costs, like a freight charge, you use something called item charges. You just reopen the PO, add the charge line, and it properly allocates that cost to your inventory. Now, for those tiny recurring differences, like being off by a few pennies, you can use tolerances. An admin can set a rule that basically tells the system to accept small discrepancies so you're not held up by insignificant amounts.
Look, if you take away just one thing today, let it be this. A healthy procure-to-pay cycle is all about data integrity. It's about making sure that three key documents, the order, the receipt, and the invoice, are all in perfect harmony, telling the exact same story.
Mastering this process gives you incredible control and accuracy. But you know, technology is always moving forward. So what does the future hold for making this process even smarter?
The future is all about AI. Microsoft's upcoming payables agent for Business Central is going to make this process even smarter. Imagine an AI that can find the correct PO and receipt lines even when the vendor forgets to put the reference number on their invoice. This is moving beyond simple automation into intelligent matching, and it promises to cut down on manual work even more. It kind of leaves us with a question. As AI handles more of the matching, where will you focus your expertise next?